Muted the mic there. How we all doing, people? Yeah, it's early in the morning, so that's why I forgot to unmute the mic. How we all doing? How we doing, people? How we all doing? Sunday morning, watch along. Kambosos versus Haney. Got Andrew Maloney fighting now. Or is it Jason Maloney? I think actually Jason Maloney is fighting now. So how we all doing? I get a few people in the chat. It's been an interesting little card already. I expect that we probably will get a 4 a.m. ring walk time. We probably will get that 4 a.m. ring walk time. I think that this, the fights have all been ending reasonably early on this card. Reasonably early. So that whole start time of 4 a.m., I think we're likely to get that. I think we're reasonably likely to get that. So they've been saying on Sky that this is the co-feature. It's only a 10-rounder. Now it is down to bantamweight. I can see this fight going the distance. I can see it going the full 12. But let's see. Or the full 10, I should say. So Lucas Brown just got K. Yeah, I seen that. I couldn't believe it. Because normally when I do these, when I stay up for a fight, sometimes I might just go to bed about maybe like 10, just get a couple of hours kip. But I stay up. Haven't gone to bed yet. And that Lucas Brown fight was kind of catching me when I was pretty tired, and that kind of spurred me back into life. Watching the review on my iPad, and this popped up. Yes, salute to Karma. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good weekend. And if you're working, I hope you're near the end of the shift if it is that. But yeah, I genuinely, right, when this fight was being talked about first as being on Sky, I was thinking for two reasons. One, that it was going to clash with the Fulton card, and so that's why it wouldn't be on quite as late our time. And I thought that they were going to do it late Australia, because I saw people from the States saying that it was going to be a 4 a.m. time in America, and I was thinking, okay, that means it's going to be on probably about 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning our time, because I know when they've done some cards, well, perceived big fights in places like New Zealand, like when Parker fought Fa, they were kind of building that as a big fight anyway. But that was on at I think that was on at like 11 o'clock our time, so it was normal. So I thought this would be on in the morning, but nope, we get the classic 3 a.m. But all the fights on this undercard have been ending pretty early. So let's see. Are you keeping an eye on the Fulton card too? I will be keeping an eye. Yes, obviously I'm not going to be showing it, but yes, I will be keeping an eye. Obviously, I'm interested in Stephen Fulton as well. I think that this fight though has gripped me. What's up? Big up to EA. Haney on points. I'm going with Haney on points, definitely. That was my pick. I genuinely do think it's going to be a razor close decision. I can see Kambosos. I can see how Kambosos can cause him issues, and I can see a situation where Devin Haney is the better long-range boxer of the two, and if he just sticks to what he's good at, he should win. But I can easily see a situation where Devin Haney decides, do you know what, I want to try and really hurt this guy. And I think if he cuts the range, if he shortens the range himself, he's going to give Kambosos room to punch. He's going to give Kambosos room to do his thing, and in that case, it could be a much closer fight. But I don't see a knockout for either guy. I'd be very surprised if we get a knockout in this fight. Very surprised. I think we got 12 rounds written all over it. A big up to Base every single time. Salute to you, my man. I hope you're doing well. It's a tiring one for the two of us, mate. It's a tiring one for the two of us. Jesus, I swear. I don't normally do the full right the way through. And I haven't done that in a while. And yeah, I'm tired. I was up early this morning as well, so I'm tired. All right, so let's see how this fight is going. Both guys coming out. Maloney coming off the back of that trilogy, but this guy, the guy he's fighting, is looking to counter punch. He has heavy hands. You can see that straight away, because he's after putting Maloney on the back foot and he's getting through with uppercuts. And Maloney's feeling the weight of some of them uppercuts. I could see him instantly when he took one. He was kind of backing up and kind of jittering a bit there. So Maloney definitely knows he's in a fight. And as well as that, Maloney looks to be, just from the sheer eye test, the smaller guy. But he lands a right hand in there, but he takes one in return. A minute gone in the second round. And this is, oh, good left hook by Maloney, actually. That backed up his opponent there. Patici. Probably saying that name wrong. I know he's Filipino. But Maloney, both guys doing a little feel each other out now in the centre of the ring. It started off the first round, actually. The first minute started off quite quick. It's kind of gone into a bit of a lull there. I think Maloney is wary because I think Maloney felt some of the power in that first couple of seconds because he was able to get through his opponent with some uppercuts. And he was able to, I think, sting Maloney. Maloney's coming firing back now. He's backing his opponent up against the ropes. But lead uppercuts and straight right hands going from the opponent. Nice left hook to the body from Jason Maloney. Needs to be very economical. Needs to pick when he attacks and when he doesn't. Needs to be very careful with that counter uppercut as well because I have a funny feeling his opponent may look to counter with that uppercut. Looks to throw an over the hand right. Gets blocked by Maloney's gloves. And nice body shot in there from Jason Maloney. He's a little scrap this for the first round. Body shot goes in again from Maloney. Straight right hand. Has no effect. Has little to no effect. And Maloney again, every time he goes in, he has to be on the lookout because this guy is looking to counter punch and he's not just looking to counter punch, he's throwing haymakers. You can see the power he's putting into all these shots when he's letting the shots go. And Maloney needs to be very cognizant, very wary of it. He's trying to get in there, but he is not taking his head at all off center line. He's relying on just blocking with the gloves. Sometimes it's always a good idea if you're going in, move your head a little bit off center line, especially if he's looking to throw straight right hands. And Maloney lands with a good right hand there and was able to duck underneath a counter left hook. Then uppercut gets thrown in on the inside by Patici. Butchering the name. So the first round comes to an end. Wasn't supposed to be 3 a.m. here in the UK. Honestly, mate, once I heard it was going to be kind of later, I was like, oh, this could be any time. Do you know, sort of way, it could be absolutely any time. When Tim Tszyu fought, he had a lot of fights on a Wednesday. Yeah, I know they're very weird like that. And those Tim Tszyu fights were not ideal time wise, certainly for people in the UK, because a lot of them fights were happening at they were happening at like during a work day on a Wednesday at like noon. So it can be weird. It can be very strange the way some of these fights go. Could easily see it. Could easily see a draw happen. Easily. You see, I don't know. I don't think necessarily it's going to be that bad. A lot of people are saying it. If it is, it is. But I don't think it's going to be. I think Haney will get it fair. I really do. I genuinely see, because Bob Arum is not the main guy for Kambosos. It's that weirdo Lou DiBella. And DiBella has no power in the sport of boxing. He's got no sway. Devin Haney, I reckon that Bob is looking at Devin and thinking, hang on a sec, I could have a potential little star here. I want this guy to stay with me. I don't want him to go back to Hearn. So I wouldn't necessarily go that far. I think it could be even Stevens, George, for me. George will win it on points. Okay. It's interesting. It seems to me as though the majority are going with Kambosos now. He is the underdog. He's the slight betting underdog. So it might be worth putting a bit of money on him. I'm still sticking with Haney. I genuinely think he's got this. But I don't think he's got it as in he's going to win like a 118, 110. It's going to be close. Believe that. It's going to be a close fight. Oh, I really think this fight's going to be close, competitive the whole way through. And it is next. What time is it now? It is 20-4. So it is next. So when this fight ends, we're straight into the main event. Straight into the main event, people. So I always find, right, whenever it's like a really big main event that I really want to watch, I'm doing these watch-alongs, especially when it's a morning job, I'd be just so tired. I'd be just like, please let there be a knockout. Please let there be a knockout, so we can get a move on with this card and we can go into the main event, because that's the one I really want to watch. That's the bread and butter for this. That's the bread and butter. But it's been an interesting card. The thing I'm worried about here is, right, not in this necessarily fight, that arena, there's still a good few empty seats, and we're supposed to be in the co-main. That's a bit of a worry when there's like, There's meant to be a 50,000 seater, and they're still, like, even in the front row, you can clearly see the white empty seats. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. I wonder if they fill it. Both guys just fighting here on the inside. A minute to go here in the second round. Maloney's not doing himself many favors. He's trying to get his shots off, but his shots on this opponent having absolutely no effect. Like, he's throwing some shots, he's letting his hands go, he's getting in some headshots and body shots up on the inside, but his opponent is literally having no effect on him. And you can tell the shots he's throwing at Maloney, they're hurting Maloney. They're moving Maloney back. Like, oh, look at that big uppercut on the inside, just snapping the head back of Jason Maloney. Some more shots go in. Another uppercut. He's not. When you see a fighter, he's getting hit with that uppercut too much for my liking early on, and there's no adjustments being made. What do I think of Cordina's win? I genuinely thought that fight would be a 12-rounder. It could go either way. I didn't see a one-punch knockout from Cordina as the result. If you told me that before the start of the night, I would have said, ha 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 ha. So I seen it. It was a good shot. It was a brilliantly timed right hand, and fair play. That card, I just couldn't have cared less about. I just was like, I'm not watching that. I didn't watch any of the undercard fights. To me, it was just like, ugh. But I was kind of semi-interested in Cordina in the main event, and I did not expect that. Yeah, mate. I'm surprised you even put him on the accumulator, mate, to be honest with you, because, I mean, what were the odds for Junior Fab beating Lucas Brown? I mean, I'm sure they would have been probably like 1 over 70 or something like that. It probably would have been something crazy. Like one of them fights where you would have needed to put like 10 grand down in order to make like anyway decent money if Junior Fab won. So I'm surprised you actually went and put that on, because you probably wouldn't have gained much. But yeah, I like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm happy for him in one sense that he, you know, after all these years, he finally gets a decent enough win. But like, I worry about Lucas Brown at the same time, because Jesus, he's taken some beatings in there. He's taken some big shots, bad knockouts. He's in his 40s. And that's going to make him want to carry on. And I know I said in my post-fight he's not made anywhere near the type of money. Jason Maloney's getting battered here. He cannot put a dent in this guy. And this guy is just pushing him back with shots. Maloney is... He's getting his volume. He's working hard in this fight, but he's having literally no effect on his opponent. Now, his opponent, whenever he starts throwing, you can tell that they're having an effect on Maloney. The uppercut for one is getting through. The front of his nose is all reddened. Man, Maloney is taking it in there. He really is. I can see a stoppage coming in this fight. I really can. I can't see Maloney winning this fight. And his opponent knows he's getting gold with the uppercut. Maloney hasn't been able to adjust to that. He's just trying to come in. He's trying to let his shots go, trying to let combinations go. And when he does, he's able to, another uppercut goes in there, he's able to land them. But he's really having no effect. Like, there's a full-blooded left hook he landed, and his opponent just eggs him on to say, come on, let's go. So I really don't know how he's actually going to get through this fight. I really don't. As the shots he lands just have literally no effect. But his head movement, his defense is just shocking. Like, he's not adjusting to anything, and he's just coming in, head wide up, chin up in the air. Just, please hit me, sir, and I'll try and hit you back. Any chance with Shakur? No. It's a straight answer. Did I enjoy the Cordina fight? I enjoyed the knockout, and you know me, I love a good knockout, and I did not expect that from Joe Cordina, but credit to him. Oh, wow, what the where'd that come from? Maloney drops his opponent and he hurts him. He looks hurt. 40 seconds to go here in the third round. Let's have a look-see. Did not see that coming. Look, the heavy knockdown. Referee, let it go. Come on, let it go. Oh, Maloney, right hand. Let's see. Opens up, combination. Referee, oh, wow. Jason Maloney with the third round knockout. I said I could see a stoppage coming, but I didn't see that coming. Let's have a look at that again. He was getting battered in there. Let's have a look-see at these replays. Damn. I was not expecting that. Jason Maloney with the stoppage. Let's have a look-see back at this. I was honestly not expecting that. Patici. Top of the morning. Yeah, top of the morning. Got it tonight. G-Man and Ade. We are spoiled. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I said it. I said I'd do a live watch along for this. I said it. I was looking forward to it, and I'm glad I did. So far, it's been fun. Been enjoying it. But I want to see this replay of this knockout again because I missed it because I was reading these chats. But Maloney elated, so he should be. I did not think he would be able to lead. It looked at one stage in that fight that he was just getting battered. Goes over and gives Bob Arum a big hug. Jesus, man. Was not expecting that. As soon as Kambosos, we'll see how Kambosos does with Haney's jab. Yeah, the jab from Haney is going to be key. I think Lopez was dead at the weight and Haney boxes him easy for a UD, potentially. Do you think Tim Pete is good? I'd have to have a look at him. I'm not sure who that is, mate. Let's have a look-see at this, right? So, Maloney, right hand goes and just lands bang on the button. Lads bang on the chin. You ain't getting enough from that. Yeah. Opponent just drops the guard, gets ready to throw an uppercut. Now, see, there's something, right? Boxing 101. Never lead with the uppercut. You just don't do it. You just don't do it. You always have to disguise it with a straight shot. Whether you disguise it with a little nothing right hand and then slip to the side, slip to the opposite side. So if you're going for the right hand, you want to lead with the left uppercut. Or follow back up with that, I should say. And the vice versa with the jab. So if you're jabbing, you know, you're going to throw that jab out. Just as because he just went straight in born. If he wants to try that, he wants to just like pop that jab slightly and boom. Junior Fa, I mean, honestly, mate, you know, you're getting beaten by Lucas Brown at this stage of his career and around. I mean, I don't know what to say. I really don't. Find that punch from Fair Play. It was a real kind of swing. It was a real kind of swing and hope punch. But it landed, and yeah, couldn't recover. It's crazy. Shakur has 17k placed on Haney. Crazy. Wish I could throw money around like that. Maloney lands a bomb. Yeah, didn't see that coming. No, neither did I. Good vibes tonight. Yeah, it's a fun one. Is Triller in financial trouble? If you're referring to the Kovalev and Pulev not being paid, mate, you have to imagine, right, that their concept, as fun as it is, I mean, that's destined. That's destined for failure. I mean, you know, people were saying like DAZN and Eddie Hearn were overpaying some of the guys with DAZN, and yeah, they were. But Eddie Hearn and DAZN, they have a plan. Like they're trying to build that platform. Triller, it's just a real case of we'll just chuck a couple of fights on now and again and pay crazy purses. It's never going to work. It's never, ever, ever going to work long term, you know? So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I mean, some of the money that those guys are chucking around is crazy. It's crazy. Main event, here we come. Yeah, man, I'm happy. Both guys are... I reckon we're probably still... Because Kambosos hasn't even got his gloves on. So, we are probably still... I want to say about 20 minutes, probably 20 minutes off when this fight we'll see both guys in the ring, if you know what I mean. Kambosos by late stoppage. No one has ever fallen asleep with what? With a ragger. Boxing, weed, and wine. There you go. That's your combination. I got me with cranberry juice on the go. That's how you do it. Won't be a G-Man watch long without the cranberry juice. It just isn't the same without it. You need to get the cranberry juice, man. You need to. It's a must. It's a must. You need to get that cranberry juice in. Peeps, smash the like button, as meant to say, if you haven't already. Just so you know. Smash the old like button. And we get into the main event. I'm so glad that this is going to be a kind of 4 a.m. done at 5 a.m. joke. I'm so tired. I still can't believe Lopez to Kambosos. I thought he was unbeatable. As in you can't believe Kambosos beat Lopez, you mean? No one's unbeatable. No one's unbeatable. That's one thing I've learned. It's not as raw as when he started. Yeah. Tyen Boot, he gets what YouTube is, and he gets that if he wants to be as raw as he used to, there's consequence. Like, Tyen Boot, I think, it's weird, right? Like, YouTube is so strange in a sense that you have channels with like over 1 million subscribers, and they'll get a video demonetized for swearing once. And you have other channels who would have maybe similar numbers, a couple of 100,000, 1 million, and they could swear as much as Tyen Boot and no action happens. The video is monetized. It's fine. It's weird like that. But he obviously knows that YouTube are very sensitive about certain things. So he's never going to push the boat. I'm sure he could, if he really went in, most of the videos would get demonetized. And if they get demonetized, so like when you monetize a video on YouTube, you get basically, it's a green dollar sign. And that means you get monetization. That means you're good to go. So you could do a video like me. I could do a video, you get 4,000 views and get about 15 quid for it. Maybe a bit more. And that's fine. But if it goes, I think it's amber. I think if it's an amber dollar sign, it means that it's going to be limited monetization, which is what I think Tyen Boot is trying not to do, because you could have the same video, same amount of viewers, and you might get 15 cents for it. That's how much it hits you when it gets limited. You may as well just take it off altogether. So I think that's what he's worried about. And yeah, it says the main event, Haney Kambosos is next. Man, yes, we got this. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm happy about this. We got a main event for Kambosos Haney next. Yes. It's going to be ring walk time soon. It's going to be main event time soon. Whoever's in the chat, if you haven't already, hit the old like button. Nearly 30 likes. Appreciate that. That Liverpool guy that worked with on Probellum and Fight Disciples and BT. Oh, I think the Probellum team in general is actually quite good. And it's weird, right? Isn't it interesting? Probellum, they're still going on. They're still making moves. They're still signing fighters, and they're still putting on shows. So, El Chapahan and MTK, that seems to be gone. But Probellum, and I think we all know that Probellum are kind of like, or at least they were. I don't know what they are now, but they seem to me that they're still going. So I wonder if they're the new MTK. Because Probellum are still going strong. And I like the Probellum concept, and I think that they've done very well. I think they've got a very, very good team behind them in terms of broadcast, in terms of what they were doing. Obviously, they don't have the Eurosport deal anymore, which is a bit crap, because that Eurosport deal, I think that would have been good for that. Well, it definitely would have been good. It would have got the Probellum name out there. I think they did Sonny Edwards. They did Troy Williamson. They did his fight. And they were meant to do, obviously, the Paul Butler fight, but that didn't happen. So they it did happen, but it didn't happen on Eurosport. It happened on the Probellum website. So they're still making moves in boxing. They're still running Probellum. So we'll need to wait and see what they do moving forward. But I reckon a lot of the people who would have been part of MTK in terms of the kind of business end, the managing end, they're probably with Probellum now, I would imagine. I would imagine anyway. Is there kind of daylight there in Tyrone? Well, I don't know about Tyrone. I'm not from Tyrone. It's dark, pitch dark in Dublin. The fight has really slapped me in the face with how biased the LDBC are, insulting Kambosos' race, unless there's something I missed. I never watched the LDBC, man. Never, never, never. I just don't want to watch that garbage. So, and like as you said, that why would I want to watch videos on boxing when they start making it about things like that? I want to watch videos about boxing where it's just your raw opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Break it down. Give me a bit of news. Who wins? Exactly, etc. That's what I want to watch. And that's why I'm very selective about boxing channels I watch nowadays. Well, I've always been, to be fair. Like I've never watched many channels. You know, even before I started watching YouTube, there's very few channels that I would religiously watch. But yeah, the LDBC, I wouldn't watch any of their videos, mate. I don't like it when people start getting into it in that way about boxing. It's boxing. Just give me your opinion, give me your 2 cents, and I'll give you mine, and that's it. It's not that deep. Big up to Joe Stunner Boxing every time, LOG man, and everyone in the chat. I'm still in. Yeah, I can't believe that either. I never saw that coming. I mean, like I'm when I seen that was actually on BoxRec, I was like, really, really, like of all the people for Junior Father fight, he couldn't have picked someone else. He couldn't have picked someone who I'm not worried about their brain going to mush. And then he goes and knocks Mountain around. Didn't even take a shot. Crazy. As I said in my post-fight, power is the last thing to go. And no matter what Lucas Browne is now in his career, and we know he's not the same fighter. Lucas Browne, I mean, like he's been shot to pieces for years. He could always punch, and that's never going to go away. It will eventually, but that power is the last thing to go, and he still had it. And there you go. Morning, G man. How long till the main event ring walks? Oh, I'd say in the next few minutes, mate. The ring is empty. I'd say they're going to get this underway pretty damn quick. Pretty damn quick. They're going to get this. They say 4 a.m. It's never exactly 4 a.m. We know that. But I'd say we're looking at this. We're looking soon. Good man. What is the LDBC? It means Lions Den Boxing Community. It's basically what is it? It's basically like YouTube channels. They're all kind of in their own little kind of clique, and you know they have their favorites. Like for example, Wilder was their probably still is their poster boy, and you know it's a case of people like Deontay Wilder, Devin Haney can do no wrong. Everyone else is just crap, and it's not as clear cut as that. It's a lot more things, but I just don't subscribe to any of that crap and all that. It's just not for me. It's not for me. Rome versus Fulton looks interesting. Fulton is a good that's a decent enough scrap for Fulton. Everyone always forgets that was a world champion. He was a regular champion, mate. He was a regular champion. He beat Shigaev, who was he was in his prime in the Klitschko era, and he is living proof. He's a case in point as to how weak that division was, because he was one of the top heavyweights in the Klitschko era. And if you had Ruslan Shigaev prime fighting now in 2022, I mean, he would be like Ruslan Shigaev was really a cruiserweight. If you look at him, like if you ever look at Shigaev, he was 5'10", 5'11", and he was just fat. That's all he was. He was a barrel. He was a beer keg. If he was actually in shape, he would come in like the 230s to the 240s. And if you strip that excess fat off him, he was a cruiserweight. And he would have been a very good cruiserweight, a very good one. But at a heavyweight, he was not a heavyweight. I don't get why the referee didn't stop far after the first knockdown. Yeah, he was definitely out of it after the first one, but potentially he just thought maybe he can get a recovery about that. I'm very worried when I see that the ring walks are taking place and George Kambosos looks bone dry. I don't like it when fighters go to the ring and they're clearly not warmed up, because he looks as dry as anything, and that's a bit of a worry when you're going to a ring and you're going to have a boxing match. that's when knockdowns and knockouts happen. When you go into the ring and you're having a beat of sweat on you. When's the fight? Just woke up. Should be happening now in a few minutes. We should be getting the ring walks. Let's hold patience and make Haney come forward. Someone messaged. Yeah, he held a secular belt. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Tim Boxo? He covers the real obscure boxing underground kind of events. He has a podcast called The Unprofessional Boxing Podcast. No, I haven't. Let's have a look. I like that concept though. Tim Box 329 subscribers. Definitely would give him a look at, definitely. And I can see you're right there. He does cover kind of the lesser known fights that are happening. That's a good little concept because believe me, when I was starting out, I was doing that a bit. Like I was covering everything in boxing. Like I was covering fights that were on in like Spain and stuff like that. And a lot of them did pretty good views at the time because people in that part of the world, Spain, Bulgaria, places like that's their fighters. So they're happy to watch. But someone said the state don't want to show the stadium, just the ring. Yeah, I was only saying that in the Maloney fight, that the actual stadium doesn't look too full. I mean, like I was looking at this thinking, aware that this is the co-main, but it doesn't look like a co-main. It doesn't look like it looks like we're still low down the card, if you know what I mean, because it's still quite empty, truth be told. Maybe they over-anticipated or overestimated Kambosos' pulling power. Maybe they just assumed that, oh yeah, because he's world champion for Undisputed, we'll just draw. I don't know how big a star Kambosos is in Australia. I mean, I know obviously he's, liked and well known. I mean, they wouldn't have put it on such a big event if he didn't have at least some following, but maybe they overestimated how big it actually is. Can't do a watch along without this. And there we go. Tail of the tape. Let's have a look. See, 5'9". They look very similar in height, but Devin Haney definitely is the bigger guy naturally. I mean, he is a 140-pounder, and that's just there's no ifs or buts. He's a 140-pounder. Is Devin Haney? So pro debut, etc. All that. Hard to believe that Devin Haney, like when he made his pro debut, was 2015. It's weird, right? If you go back and look at some cards, because it's only when you look at like some cards that have happened over the years, and you see cards like Joe Smith when he fought Fonfara, and you look at who was commentating on that, Errol Spence and BJ Flores, and you look at people who were on undercards of some of them fights. They're guys we all know now, but at the time, like you realize only their debut was crazy. The rankings at 135 pounds, they've got Kambosos as the champion, Teofimo number 1, Lomachenko number 2, Davis 3. Teofimo should be off that list because he's moving up. Haney 4, Garcia 5, Cruz 6, Gustavo Lemos 7. He's dangerous. Nakatalier number 9, Diaz Jojo Diaz number 9. I should say the other guy was number 8. And Jermaine Ortiz number 10. Interesting. Gustavo Lemos is going to be an interesting one. I was only watching his fight with Lee Selby there today, and he is relentless. I mean, he is relentless, that guy. And then fight Gilberto Ramirez. Well, I've no doubt that he could. I believe Ramirez is mandatory. And, do you think if he can't, I thought you said if he can, do you think if he can't fight, he should fight Ramirez? Well, I doubt that very much. If Canelo is invoking that rematch clause, they're going to go down the Canelo road. If Canelo doesn't invoke the rematch clause and he can't get that fight, then yeah, I'd expect him to go in there with Ramirez. Now, Ramirez is a different... Like, I wouldn't rule out Ramirez in that fight. I really wouldn't. Because it's a different style, Ramirez is completely different to Canelo. I mean, Ramirez is 6'2", long reach, good with both arms, can fight out of the southpaw and orthodox, and he is huge. I mean, he is like massive. He is a massive light heavyweight. The guy, apparently in his last fight, the zone were saying he came into the ring on fight night at basically 200 pounds. I mean, you could say Canelo was big, but he's not that big. Yeah, Beterbiev, yeah. But Smith can crack Beterbiev. I look back at that Callum Johnson fight and I just think if someone like Callum Johnson can do that, and Callum Johnson froze as soon as he dropped him, but if Callum Johnson can do that, Joe Smith can do it too. And I think that pound for pound, Joe Smith hits harder than Callum Johnson, and he's definitely a lot more physical. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm keeping my eyes peeled on that one. Beterbiev is going to punish Smith to the body. He certainly will. It's going to be a great fight. I think we will do a watch along for that one as well. I think we almost have to. I think it deserves a watch along to that one. We're seeing all the people who are attending this show. And we just wait on the ring walk. I always say when they say like it's definitely 4 a.m. and it's like it won't be 4 a.m. Oh, we're still waiting, but I think we're nearing the ring walk time. So it's probably going to be a 5 a.m. kind of finish up job time. Look, it's what it is. 5 a.m. finish, and then we see from there. A lot of the guys dressed up as Spartans. Obviously, Kambosos is bringing not just the Australian, but he's bringing the Greek. So the Greek fans in Australia coming out. But look at how many empty seats, even at the front of the stadium, there are. And look at the rafters. Like, you can clearly see the rafters have no one in them. So that's a 50,000 seater. I want to say about 20,000 are in there, in around the 25,000, give or take. And Beterbiev can outbox Smith. He can indeed. He can indeed. True, but he's good inside. Wasn't Callum Johnson old as well? When that happened with Beterbiev. Callum Johnson's 36, and when he fought him, he was 32. He wasn't that old, but Callum Johnson had never even gone past British level. So to go from that to straight into world level, big step up. And I think that on that night, he just froze, simple as. I don't think it was anything else. It was just froze. The minute he dropped him, he was like, what do I do now? I'd be more concerned with his legs. Smith 4-1 at 360. It's not bad. So I'm waiting for these ring walks. Give me a sec there. I'm going to get an idea when it is. Yeah, they're still taking their time. There's Jeff Horn, still knocking around. Do you remember Jeff Horn and some of the things, like him getting like pretty like? I still can't believe he was a world champion. Do you know that? No, the guy seems like a cool guy, but I still can't believe he ever won a world title. I told you how to stay awake earlier. Stay awake. That's not something I normally do. Anyone know how the Fulton fight is going? Let's have a little look. I'm not going to obviously show it, but let's have a little look on here how the Fulton fight is going. I would imagine Fulton should win this fight on points, but Danny Rahman, you never truly know. You never know. Let's have a look. See, I've got links to all my sites to where I get my. I always have an S Ream. I always have one at the ready, just in case. I wish they'd just get on with the ring walk and stop showing all the people who are in attendance, to be honest with you. personally, I think Shigai was a really good fighter. Vladimir is just really good against short oppositions and southpaws and not. I still think if you look at Shigaev fought, who was it? He fought Mike Conway, was it? Was it Mike Conway? It was someone anyway, and he gave up rounds against that guy, and that guy ended up getting knocked out a couple of times thereafter. I thought with no World Cup, Eddie should try and get some big summer shows. He's got AJ, so he's got obviously AJ Usyk. Oh, Michael Buffer is in the ring, and now we're getting somewhere. So Michael Buffer doing the announcements. You don't see Michael Buffer on many of these shows anymore. Maybe he's too dear, but I know Eddie Hearn likes Diamante now. He used to always get Buffer over. Buffer was kind of the HBO guy. You know, it was a time where it was Lennon Jr. was the Showtime guy, and then it was, they're singing the national anthems, aren't they? But then it was, who was the other guy? It was Lennon Jr., it was Michael Buffer, and that was kind of it. And Buffer started doing a bit more work with Hearn, and all right, I got this Fulton fight here. Round 5 of Stephen Fulton versus Danny Roman. Roman pins Fulton up again the ropes. I'm able to get it here. I'm surprised. I would have thought this fight would have been either later on in the evening or they would have done it earlier. Not to clash, you know, the way some of the shows don't like clashing. They would have thought they would have tried to get this like proper out of the way, as in like it's not clashing at all. But yeah, Stephen Fulton just boxing, doing his usual thing, box on the back foot, just looking for openings. Yeah, I would go with Fulton on points as well, to be honest with you. And he is just really doing his thing there. He's countering. He's actually countering quite well. Countering Darren Roman quite well in this round, actually. Roman's trying to get his shots off, but like they are literally either being parried. Using that shoulder roll actually quite well is actually Stephen Fulton. And Stephen Fulton, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Quality operator in there. He really is. Once people realised how good he actually was, you know, that's when you start seeing guys like Conlon say, actually, do you know what I can do? I'll go back up to featherweight. Did they boo Jeff Horn? You get up at like 9 a.m. so your sleep pattern is not wrecked. Yeah. Like I'll probably still get up at around that time anyway. 68 in the building. If you could, smash the like button, lads. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. So he says. I mean, I doubt the validity of that because they said that he had to learn. Like basically, his spine was totaled. So they were saying it would be he'd have to learn to walk again. He was back within 2 months, little after 2 months. I call straight BS on that. Straight BS on that. Evening to Sim Boxing, big up my man. We just wait on this main event to get started. That's what we do. So we get once they get the national anthems out of the way, we know we're pretty much good. We know we're pretty much done. Went to the fight, and then it's straight into the ring. Stadium is half empty. Who's who of Australian boxing is in attendance. Yep. That's the thing I noticed. I mean, if you look at the top, if you look at the rafters, they literally are empty. You know, and even a lot of the seats in the front row are empty. So it could be one of two things. One, they could be looking to make as much money as they can. Maybe they feel as though there'll be a loss there. So maybe they're looking to recoup some of the money by charging extra for like extortionate for the seats. Maybe people were like, we can't afford that. Or maybe people just weren't interested in it because there is a lot of empty seats in there. I mean, I thought this would have been a sellout. Diamante has clones like Putin. I mean, Diamante, man. I mean, I like him as an announcer, but man, my eyebrows are raising after that whole car. Or it was a motorcycle accident, and it was like, yeah, back in what 70 days. I was like, what? You were able to get that fixed and learn to what? Ah, man, I call BS on that. Big Greek community in Australia. I can see that. A lot of the signs you see when they flash over to the fans, a lot of them are holding up the Greek flags. So I'd say that's mainly who are going to be there. You know, but a lot of the fans in attendance. It's going to be an interesting one. It's an interesting one. What time is it now? It's like 4:15. So the whole 4 a.m. start, we've wasted like what, a good 20 minutes just between a little preview and then it's like, just get this fight going. Let's get this fight underway. You know, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we just get this fight underway and we see how it goes. But Michael Buffer is going to announce both fighters to the ring. So let's see. Motorcycle accidents go together like Frank Warren cards and pullouts. Yep. Don't say that. Obviously, I'm going to be going to his card at the end or start of July. So I don't want any pullouts. I don't want the card to get binned. I don't want any of that. I want that card to go ahead, nice and seamless, no issues. Hopefully Joe Joyce gets a good opponent or a decent opponent anyway. I know someone who knows Diamante, and he says Diamante did have a bad accident. Sounds like he may have exaggerated, though, if I'm being diplomatic. You see, that's the thing as well. Like, why did he exaggerate? Because think of it like this, right? We never, ever, 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 ever. The only time we ever seen a picture of Diamante allegedly in hospital, right? Because the zone barely acknowledged it. There was no pictures. There was no anything. The only time we seen it was when people started actually asking them questions. And then he and Elise Baumgartner showed an image of him in the hospital where it literally was like, I think it was right. So he's from New York, where they were super strict with the whole muzzles. And you have Baumgartner in there, face free, no muzzle. And it looks like Diamante is like, I don't even know it. It just didn't look right. You know, maybe that's just cynical me, but I just think that was he in an accident? Probably was, maybe. But was it as bad? Like, I mean, they made it out as though these were like serious injuries, like that would take a year to come back from. He was back in no time. Chain came off as we BMW. Can you let us know when the bell rings? Of course. Thought Joyce was fighting Parker. No, man. Unfortunately, not. Not anytime soon, anyway. Betting is short on elite fights to be knocked down 5-6. Yeah, you're never gonna get great. The elite fights depends, unless someone is really known to be a whatever. You're never gonna get great odds on it. I got decent odds on the Bivol fight. Remember that? Remember getting good odds on that one for him to beat Canelo. I made some money on that one actually. Didn't make much, but I made some in terms of like how much I could have. Because I only put a $5 down and I got like 20 quid back. And I remember thinking I should have just put the fucking 20 down. I would have got like nearly 100 quid back. But ring walks are happening. 80 in the building. If you could, lads and lassies, smash the like button, help your boy out. Hope you all enjoying the watch along. We getting there this evening. We getting there. 93 in the building now. Big up. People, we getting the ring walks now. And then we into the fight. So I'm just going to turn it up real quick and just see where we are with it. Yeah, they are taking their sweet time with this. They really are taking their sweet time with these ring walks. And look at that. They're showing like kind of, yeah, both guys are still in the corner in the dressing rooms. But they're showing like some of the fans. And you can see in the background like so many empty seats and like play parts of the stadium where there's just like empty seats galore. It's crazy. But hopefully they'll speed this up. Because I just don't understand why they can't get these shows on the road. It's been happening a lot lately. If you think about it, it's like main event and co-main ends, and we are waiting a flipping eternity. Like, not even funny. It's like an eternity. And even after they do all what they need to do, it's like you're gonna have to wait again now. It's like, just get the show on the road and get the fight started. Come on. What, like, I don't get this. What's the hold up? So, biggest fight of his career, and they're gonna milk every second. Most likely. Most likely. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. But you just want to get this fight up and on and over the line and get it on. So Team Kambosos look primed and ready to go. So it's just literally a case of waiting on Haney to get to the ring. And hopefully once they're in there, it's a real quick kind of, yeah, these are the guys, let's go on, let's fight. Because I know with the Fury one, that was always going to take long. Canelo's ring walks, oh my God, I swear to God, they just are an eternity. We getting there. I think they were saying no later than 4:30 a.m. So that's why I always say, when people tweet and say the ring walk is going to be at 4 a.m., I'm always like, don't. It's never at 4 a.m. If they ever say it's going to be at 4 a.m., they're flat out lying, because I don't think I've ever seen someone advertise a ring walk for a specific time and it happened at that time. Even when there's no reason why it couldn't, they always drag it out. They always do. Is that Kambosos' girl? Could be. I know he's married with a kid. Maybe he has more than one kid. But Haney doing his ring walk. So Haney on his way to the ring. So I think we're now in a good place. Big up 111 in the chat. And we've got 40 likes. If you could, lads and lassies, smash the like button. And if you haven't already, hit your boy a subscribe. Give it a little subscribe. Breaking news: daylight in Inverness. Yeah, it's not as dark now. They say the sun will be out now in the next probably half hour. Sun will probably be out roughly in the next half hour. But Devin Haney on his way to the ring. And it doesn't look like it's a specifically long length to the ring, so in terms of walking. So yeah, we should be good to go with this. Kambosos probably gonna do. We're probably gonna get like a Spartan kind of ring walk. That sort of way. One of them where it's like a bit like Fury. First 3 rounds will tell the story. Break between last fight. Now been so long. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. And you know what the worst part is? If that fight had gone the full distance, they would have still made that break real long. Like, we'd be talking about a 5 a.m. start if that fight had gone the full 10. Isn't what I call sun. Yeah. It's dark out still here. It won't probably be for much longer. I'd say probably by the end of this fight, it'll be bright. More than likely, anyway. In fact, definitely it'll be bright. So Haney in the ring. And now we wait on Kambosos. Hopefully it's not a long one, specifically long. But we should be good to go soon. I saw Ben Davison tweeting about Devin Haney. The whole issue with El Chapahan, he still can't get there. Are you going to sleep after the fight? Well, I'll do the post-fight straight after. So obviously I'll do a video, upload that. But once I do that, I'm going straight to bed. And then, because I want to I'll go to the gym tomorrow. So I'll go to bed straight after this. And then, I don't know, probably, normally when I stay up and do a watch along, I tend to get up maybe about 9, half 9. So we'll see how that goes. Because I think I've kind of hit the point where the kind of fatigue's gone, so we're good. But I ain't a bad sleeper, so it shouldn't be any issue. So Kambosos, belts in hand. He is getting ready to make this ring walk. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do with this. Is a Haney fight on? It'll be on in a few minutes, mate. It's another few minutes before the ring walk, or before the actual fight starts. They're just milking these ring walks. Here come Cambo First Blood. Man, he is taking his sweet, sweet time. Yeah, shout out to Gustav for the £4. £4.50. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Shout out every single time. Every little bit helps. And here we go. Kambosos doing his ring walk. Kambosos looks focused, but Haney, first thing I noticed about Haney, he looked so calm. Like, that's the thing about Devin Haney. Like, he's impresses me about him. He's in hostile territory. He's in Australia. It's not often you see Americans travel. And he just looks like, you know, you'd never think he may as well be in Las Vegas. Big up to Joe every single time. Appreciate that for the substantial super chat. Thank you so much. How do you think Shakur does at lightweight? I'll be honest with you, man. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I think Shakur, apart from Lomachenko, beats everyone at lightweight. I think he beats everyone at lightweight. Just in my opinion, I think he beats everyone at lightweight. I waited 20 minutes for the ring walk, sneak off for a piss, and suddenly Haney isn't in the ring when I returned. Bloody typical. Yeah, his ring walk was kind of, it was nothing really major, nothing out of the ordinary. He looked calm. He looks relaxed. He looks chilled. Kambosos looks focused. That's what I will say. Haney just looked super relaxed. I was going to bet on this fight, but I have no idea who's going to win. I was looking at some of the odds and all that, and they're both fairly even Steven in the odds, so you're really going to want to go looking for, like, putting money down on a knockout. I don't think there will be, though, but they're probably better odds. If you were a boxer, what would be your entrance music? If I was a boxer, what would be my entrance music? I'd probably go with Exhibit X. You ever hear that song? That'd probably be mine. I'd use that going to the ring. Exhibit X. That'd be a good song. That'd be a good. That's a surprised no one's used that, or you don't. I've never heard anyone use that song going to the ring. That's what I would use. Am I streaming the fight? No, mate. It's a watch along. So we're just doing a live watch along, but it has no footage. I was split 50-50. Haley came out to DMX. He came out to DMX, did he? Nah, I'm sticking by my pick. And I've never even, you know, like sometimes you do a pick on it. Well, when you're doing YouTube, when you make a pick, you make a prediction. There are times where I've actually kind of second thought it and kind of gone back and thought, I'm sticking with my pick, but this one, I'm like, no. I've never even been tempted to change. Like, pretty much since the get-go, it's been... At the start, I was kind of like, oh, who could it? But once I kind of was thinking, I was like, yeah, Devin Haney's going to win this fight. Like, Devin Haney's going to win this fight. And, like, I'm convinced, I'm fairly sure, safe and confident that he's going to win this fight. So, some people are saying it's 50-50. I've seen a lot picking Kambosos. I really do think the first few rounds will tell us all we need to know. They really will, but I'm fairly confident in my pick that Devin Haney is going to win this fight. On points. Close decision, but on points. George is smart and can punch. This should be interesting. He's got respectable power, does Kambosos, but I don't think he's, like, people were making it out as though, like, George Kambosos' power would be a factor in this. He's got respectable power. But he's not one of the big devastating punchers in the division. Hey G man, hope you're having a good night. Wanted to know if you ever boxed, and if so, what level? Just a low level amateur, man. And at middleweight, I could never. I love boxing and I love sparring, but I could never commit to it. I prefer just normal training. And now, I mean, nah. If someone like offered me a spar, I'd do it, but that's it. That's the height of it. Haney wins but gets robbed. I can't see it. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think there's any good. I think it's a be close decision, but I don't think we're going to see a robbery. I picked Kambosos Haney a point, but did so without any hint of confidence. Wouldn't surprise me if Haney wins. Honestly, like, I mean, I'm fairly sure in my pick Haney's going to win this. I'm fairly sure Haney's going to win this. I'll read that one now in a second. I wanted to read this one. Yo, G-Man, big up you and your channel. Big up you and your channel. You and Jamie are the only people I get my boxing talk from. My brother, hope you're well. Thank you, mate. Thank you. And yes, me and Jamie need to do more videos together because people really like that. And Jamie is absolutely fantastic. We all know Punch Perfect Boxing. Jamie, big up to him every time. He's a great lad. Honestly, super cool guy. And yeah, appreciate being that. Appreciate that, man. And you know me, I try and get the boxing news out daily if I can. G-Man, do you prefer standard box? Do you prefer standard gyms or boxing gyms? Depends on the boxing gym. I've been into some ones where I've not liked going. Standard gyms, I do like standard gyms, but I'd always try and get a standard gym which is quiet. You know, the gym I train in, the normal gym, it's quiet. So I don't. If you get a gym where it's full of, you know what, steroid heads, you don't want to be around that. But most people are intimidated by boxing gyms. Boxing gyms are a really, really, really friendly place. They're always normally freezing, but they're a really good place to be. So, long-winded answer, I would prefer a boxing gym. Nose is red, must be fueled up. We got some Kambosos fans already in here, big up. Everlast gyms are standard gyms. They've always have heavy bags. You see a lot of the kind of new gyms now, the new boxing gyms people make now. Have you ever seen George Foreman's gym out in Boston? Looks crazy. Looks like a nightclub. Big up, 108 in the building. Smash the like button if you haven't already. We're about to get going, lads. We're about to get going. Watch the space. We're about to get going in here. I'll let you know when this starts. Great atmosphere. It looks it. Even though it's not full, it looks it. Diamante or Buffer. He is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. Spoke guys, wait. Oh, here we go. Round one. Underway. Kambosos Haney. Let's go. Haney. Looking first off, Haney with the jab. Looking to establish that jab. George Kambosos Jr., I would imagine, is going to be just taking a look early on in this first round. Wouldn't surprise me if it's quite a dull first round, but Haney on the back foot, has that left leg, has that left foot, I should say, cocked and ready. So it looks like he's almost ready to deliver a right hand. Looks like that's what he's going to be thinking straight away. But on the jab, straight away is Devin Haney. Hands up high. Normally we see him try and, get the Philly shell kind of going, but hands up high. Jab just misses from Kambosos. And Devin Haney looks very relaxed. Looks very relaxed in there. Fighting with that left hand down low, which is a good thing if you know how to use it and you can use it properly. The reason for that is because it gives the opponent something extra to think about. Is it a left hook he's going to lead with, which Haney can do, or is it the jab? Haney known for both. Using the jab well in this first round. Kambosos not really doing anything, not really wanting to commit to anything. Definitely just having a look at Haney now in this first round. Both guys are very tentative. But Kambosos, the first real exchange he gets in there, Devin Haney sees it coming and misses. Ends up in a clinch. Kambosos will look to target the body of Devin Haney. He'll look to slow those legs down. And Devin Haney will look to keep this as long as he can at range. As he is doing here. And having success. Not much is landing in this first round, but Haney is the one who's being the ring general. He's doing more of what he wants to do. Kambosos not really looking to commit to anything, and when he has, it's fallen short thus far. Jab goes over the head of Kambosos from Devin Haney. But there's a good jab. Good fast jab that Devin Haney throws and lands. Looking for any opening he can get with Kambosos. There's the feint from Devin Haney, which Kambosos reads. But there's a good combination. First real combination of the fight from Kambosos. Devin Haney looked to have felt that. Regroups and clinches. In a round that's evenly fought, in a round that's close-knit, something like that from Kambosos could steal him the round, but the referee is warning Kambosos already for holding and pushing. So the referee, obviously he ain't going to take it. Someone saying that Haney looks off balance slightly, you do pick up on that. I do think he's looking to cock that right hand, possibly to counter with the right hand, if he sees Kambosos coming in like he just did there. 10 seconds to go here in the first round. A round which I would be saying I would be confidently giving to Devin Haney. He's done more of what he wanted. He's the ring general. Right hand misses from Kambosos, and the first round ends. And Kambosos is being patient. I don't think that he is looking at Devin Haney thinking, I'm going to go to get to work on you straight away. He knows Haney's not going to be relentless. He's not going to be reckless like Teofimo Lopez was. And I think he knows that Devin Haney is going to look the box early on. And he's aware of that. And he's ready for that. But in my opinion, that was the Devin Haney round straight off the bat. Straight off the bat, I gave that round to Devin Haney. We will see how the further rounds progress. We will see how they go. But interesting. The jab from Devin Haney is good. Straight away, it looks sharp, looks accurate. Landing on Kambosos. ESPN crap in the bed. Oh, you can see the right hand from Kambosos way over the head of Devin Haney. Round 2 underway. Devin Haney back to a jab, but Kambosos on the front foot already. Looking for any openings, looking to see if he can get in behind that jab. He should start probably trying to implement his own jab, but I'm sure he's probably worried about the reach of Devin Haney. And Devin Haney again, finding him with that jab again. The jab can take you places. It can take you around the world quite literally. If you have a good jab, you know how to use it. Right hand misses over the top from George Kambosos, but he's letting his hands go a lot more in this round, straight away, than he was in the first round. But Haney, being very accurate with the jab, just using that to keep Kambosos at bay. Right hand misses over the top. Devin Haney doesn't look too worried there. He looks relaxed enough. I think he realises Kambosos probably carries. I say he probably felt some of Kambosos' shots. Maybe realises, okay, this guy can bang a bit, but he still looks to be in control. Certainly from the outside looking in, it looks to me as though Devin Haney is in a better position than George Kambosos at this stage. He's relaxed himself into this fight more. Oh, right hand goes in from Kambosos. I thought Haney was hurt there. Devin Haney just kind of dipped down. Right hand goes in from Kambosos. Devin Haney regroups. Might not have landed cleanly. Just the way he dipped down, it looked like he was hurt. And he ought not have wanted to throw a shot there because he would have hit Kambosos in the back of the head. But both guys back now in the centre of the ring. And Devin Haney back again, working his jab. Using his jab on Kambosos. Looking to land a body shot to no avail. And Kambosos is definitely busier in this round. But certainly, the face is showing signs of reddening already. He's taken some jabs from Devin Haney so far in this fight. And the question about Haney, how well does he really take a shot? Many people have been asking that question. A minute to go here in the second round. It's interesting what Kambosos is doing. He's keeping that left hand down very low. He's looking at Devin Haney. He's looking at I think he's looking to see what Devin Haney is doing in there from a terms of, is he doing the same thing? Have I an opening? Have I a gap? He's trying to read his opponent. Whereas Devin Haney is looking to keep Kambosos on the jab and move as he did there. Kambosos has no chance to counterpunch. But he is trying to back Devin Haney up, using his footwork to get Devin Haney backed up against the ropes. Haney sees that coming. Got lunges into Kambosos. We're now back in the centre of the ring. Swing and a miss from both guys. Jab to the body from Devin Haney. Over the hand right from Kambosos was always going to miss. As the second round comes to an end. Whoa, left hook lands on the inside from Kambosos. Better round this from George Kambosos. Busier, more active, and he landed some shots. Open to interpretation that round. Definitely that round open to interpretation. But Kambosos definitely was able to land a lot more on Devin Haney in that round. And yes, Devin Haney was able to establish the jab once again. but there wasn't as much done, in my opinion, from Devin Haney in that round as the first round. He didn't really take a foothold on it as he did in round one. I wouldn't have a complaint if he gave that round to either guy, truth be told. But let's see if they have any replays of that fight. That's the thing about Sky I always don't like, is when they always show ads during the round minute rests. Yeah. And you see here, that's a good point, Joe. Whether they land or not, the crowd reacts. I'm telling you now, that does influence the judges. If you have a judge who maybe hasn't a proper view of it, if they hear the crowd react, they're assuming a shot's gone in there. So they're probably going to count that as a scoring shot, round 3 underway. Oh, and now Kambosos is coming out with the jab and looking to put pressure on Devin Haney, looking to get his shots off. Devin Haney, wide for that, sees that coming. Keeping it as is on the jab and looking for an opening on Kambosos. Right hand goes in, hits the glove of Devin Haney. Kambosos looks for a counter. A lot more busy in this round, Kambosos is. Is certainly definitely warming his way into this fight. Most guys haven't won a piece, I agree with that. Yeah, we are 2 minutes and 20 seconds in the third round. Some have it to zip Haney. Kambosos is using his jab now in this round, something that he didn't do in the previous two. So definitely being a bit more busier, being a bit more active. And some missing with some counters, seconds behind. And again, he's looking to counter with these flash counters, but a lot of these aren't landing. Obviously, I don't have the sound on, but I would imagine that the crowd react to a lot of these. Whoa. Left hand goes in from Kambosos, just grazes by Devin Haney's chin. And with some of these counters that Kambosos is throwing, you would imagine at some point some of these will land, but Devin Haney opens up, misses with a right hand, but looks to land a left hook. Devin Haney with his first real attack of this fight. He's mainly relying on the jab lately, but that was a real flash attack. Devin Haney goes in again. George Kambosos is able to counter. Good shot to the body from Kambosos. Haney getting a bit more reckless there. As he gets aggressive, he gets a bit more reckless. Kambosos maybe drawing his hand. But definitely Devin Haney looking to be putting his shots together a lot more now. Misses with a right hand. Much, much busier from George Kambosos here in this third round. Both guys now in the center of the ring. Haney, lead left hook, misses. Kambosos looking to counter again. And again, Devin Haney with the jab. Just the jab leads to nothing. Kambosos looking to counter Devin Haney the minute he sees George Kambosos get ready to set up an attack, backs up. Wants to get out of dodge instantly. The problem with that is that that's making him reluctant, I think, to throw any more power shots because he's worried about what's coming back from George Kambosos' counters. And he's missing with a lot of these jabs. Kambosos is much busier in this third round. Whoa, swinging a miss from George Kambosos there with a left hook. Want to be careful with shots like that. As we come to the end of this third round, very even Steven round again. Very even round. Oh, but a jab from Devin Haney at the end of that round. Very even round that was. We'll make this, Campbell will make this win look like Hopkins versus Calzaghe. It may very well. Remember, Calzaghe was down in that fight. That's an interesting round. I'm not sure who I would score that round to be honest with you. I could give it to either guy. You really could. You could give that round to either man. Three-zip Haney. I could see it. I could see it being 3-zip. I could see it being 2-1. I could see it being 2-1 to either guy, to be honest with you. Very technical on the outside, very scrappy on the inside. It's very scrappy inside work. You're very correct. You're correct about that. The shots they're throwing on the inside, they're just kind of swinging and hoping. But on the outside, I like what both guys are doing. I like what Kambosos is doing. I like what Haney's doing. Good job from Kambosos. Starts off the fourth round. I really like actually what Kambosos has been doing the last few rounds, but also Devin Haney, I go without saying, tremendous long range boxer, good footwork, fast hands, and that could do so much work for Devin Haney. I would have probably just given that last round to Haney, but I could make a case that Kambosos won it. They're very close, these rounds. Make no mistake, they're very close rounds. There's very little between them in the punch stats. I'd love to see the punch stats. There's hardly anything in it during these rounds, I agree. There's no one guy really asserting his authority. You can't look at each round and say, well, if you score that round, the other guy, you're crazy. They're very close. I just prefer what Haney is doing. But Haney missing with some jabs. Almost looked like he was aiming that jab over Kambosos' head with the angle he threw it at. And Haney again. Right hand blocking the chin. Left jab ready and cocked. And Kambosos again, looking for those openings, looking for that, whatever opening he can get. What I don't like what Devin Haney is doing at times is he's bringing that left hand down, straight back down low. I'd like, right hand goes in, round the guard from Devin Haney. That was a good shot. And Kambosos, for all the work he's doing, his face is reddening. We have to take that into consideration. His face is definitely reddening as well. And both guys into a clinch again. And this has been a much better round, this for Devin Haney. George Kambosos has done very little in this fourth round. Yes, he landed a jab early on Devin Haney, but he's been taking a few shots in this round. And again, just looking for whatever opening he can get. Oh, good shot there from Devin Haney. Missed with the right hand, but was able to land a little left hand. And Haney able to pivot and get out of dodge there. Really doing some good boxing here in the fourth round. Kambosos swinging and miss again. Haney seems to have his range in here. Definitely. Very good stuff this from Devin Haney. Good long range boxing. Sticking to what he knows. Keeping George Kambosos guessing. Keeping him at the end of a jab. And when he gets in, he's just wrapping Kambosos up. Haney edging it. Yep, definitely. As round 4 is coming to an end. Kambosos, another jab walks into. This is definitely a round going to Devin Haney. No question about that. That's one of them rounds where you can't dispute that. That's a Devin Haney round, definitely. Done very well. He needs to keep it like that. If he boxes like that, he wins this fight. It's as simple as that. He's really able to keep Kambosos in his place. Whenever Kambosos comes in, Devin Haney is brilliant. He's able to just move, dip down low, get out of dodge. He needs to keep it like that. If he keeps it like this, he wins the fight. Simple as. Simple as that. 97 in the building, people. If you could, smash the like button. If anyone's new, please hit the subscribe button. Help your boy out. Help me get to 8K subs before the end of the summer. And looking at the replays, very sloppy work inside from George Kambosos Jr. Very sloppy. And pushing down almost on Devin Haney's head. They're showing a replay of some of this. Even in the clinch, it's very sloppy. But excellent work from Devin Haney on the long range end. Excellent stuff from Devin Haney. Round 5 just underway, people. I think Devin Haney is really starting to warm into this fight now. I really do. Looks excellent work so far from Haney. And again, keeping Kambosos out of range with a jab. Once he gets in close, he's just stopping and moving. And Kambosos again, looking for an opening, looking to probe. Oh, big uppercut that goes in there from Devin Haney. That rocked the head of Kambosos. Took it well, though. Took it well. But Haney really finding his range now. Really. Kambosos walked into another jab. Brilliant work from Haney so far. Very impressed. And Kambosos Jr. has very little to offer. Some interesting work there from Kambosos. Got a few shots in on the inside. The winner of this won't shut up. Yeah. The winner of this looks to be Devin Haney. He's really finding his range at long range now. Really impressed with what I'm seeing from Devin Haney so far in this fight. The first few rounds were real kind of feeling out rounds. Both guys, close rounds. The last round and this round, certainly for Devin Haney, it's looked a lot more comfy. He's really doing a good job counter punching, keeping it at long range. Whenever Kambosos is getting in, he's doing a great job of just slipping the shots and just clinching, getting out of dodge, and bringing Kambosos back to the center of the ring. And as I said in my preview, not letting himself get backed up against the ropes. The few times Kambosos has been able to get Devin Haney up against the ropes, although he does open up a combination there, as Kambosos lands a few shots. But again, he's missing a lot of these shots. He's swinging and missing. Devin Haney is keeping the range very well. Another jab lands from Devin Haney. That jab is taking him around the world, and this is taking him from Las Vegas to Tijuana to Australia, and it's going to take him back to America with an undisputed belt. So Haney look at the referee again, both guys in a clinch. The Aussie crowd needs to start getting rowdy. Yeah. The last 2 years have taught me the Australians are definitely not rowdy. They definitely ain't rowdy. Some more work coming in from George Kambosos, but to very little effect. And Devin Haney again looking to get his shots off. Keeping it at range, keeping it at distance. This round started off quite well for Devin Haney, but it's been a bit messy in the last minute or so. And in rounds like this where it is close, although saying that this is definitely a Haney round, that again, Kambosos' face tells the story. And my man, honestly, I can't thank you enough for this, Joe. If Haney keeps this up, he will have earned the undisputed title. Expected more from Kambosos, to be fair. Fantastic commentary. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, my man. It does genuinely mean a lot when I see that. When I see the super chat and the comments. Thank you. I enjoy doing the commentary, I have to say. I really do. I enjoy it. That's why I like doing these watch-alongs. I like the old bit of commentary. I have to agree with you, Base. I do. I'm agreeing with you on that. I think 5 this is accurate. Very accurate, in my opinion. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Haney. I really am. That's why I said as Joe was saying in his prediction, and as he was saying earlier, it's no great degree of confidence he picked Kambosos, but this whole week I've just been like, I can't see anything other than Haney winning. I really can't. I don't think he'll stop him, but I just can't see anything other than Haney winning this fight. As we go into round 6, will it be more of the same? Haney is too slick. I reckon he is. It's the reach. The reach is causing. I mean, like, when we get to the upper echelons of boxing, we really do tend to think it's this finite things. You could be the best fighter, but if someone has longer reach, knows how to use it and sticks a jab on you, there's not a lot you can really do. Right hand goes in from Devin Haney. Just misses Kambosos, but he is still using that jab to great effect. The movement is very good. Excellent footwork. Look at the positioning of Devin Haney's feet. Look at this. Even when he's moving back, even when he's looking to get a dodge, the position of his feet is very good. He's on balance as soon as he's resetting himself. He's not having to stop and reset his feet and look and turn. The footwork of Devin Haney is absolutely tremendous. On top of that, he's got great ability at long range. The inside work is sloppy from both guys. But at long range, I mean, you can't fault what Devin Haney is doing. You really can't. And look at that. Pivots out, chin down, head up. Eyes up, I should say. Chin down. Feet nice width apart. Back out, back onto his boxing. And George Kambosos' face tells the story. That jab has been finding its range from the get-go. And Devin Haney is having even more success with it now. Kambosos really struggling in there. Struggling to find his range. Struggling to get through with shots. Excellent work, I have to say, from Devin Haney in this fight. Swing and a miss again from Kambosos. Devin Haney again. Oh, but a left hook goes in there from George Kambosos. Just lands on Devin Haney. Needs to be wary about that. As I said in my prediction video, George Kambosos, with his footwork, what he's going to look to do is he's going to look to use his footwork and his feints to back Devin Haney up against the ropes. The minute Devin Haney feels his feet touching them ropes, he needs to get out of dodge or at least clinch and try and turn Kambosos, because Kambosos will have a lot of success having Haney up against the ropes. He will. And Haney, I think, is wise to that. He knows keep this at long range. And that's where I'm going to have my success. And as you can see, he's not really attacking with rights. And he's not led with the hook as much as I thought he would. But Kambosos again. Devin Haney sees these shots coming, is able to move his head, and looks to counter Kambosos as he comes in. Excellent work again in this round from Devin Haney. Really good stuff. Kambosos looking to pressure, looking to apply it. But just a little or no avail. Oh, and Haney complained that was low. I have to look at that again. It looked an alright body shot to me, but we'll see. Wild right hand from Kambosos misses Haney as the round comes to an end. Kambosos got a body shot in there, and Haney was complaining it was low. I'll have to have a look at that again on the replays. But look at that. His face is telling the story. Kambosos has taken a lot of these jabs. And he's not really... He's happy to just kind of stand straight in front of Devin Haney and just let the jab... Just let himself be kind of almost death by 1,000 jabs. I think at some point the game plan for Kambosos needs to change dramatically in this fight. Because we're going into the 7th round. We're at the halfway stage. At best, if Devin Haney wins this... If Devin Haney doesn't win this round, it's a draw at best. Matthew Macklin... Devin Haney up, winning every round. He gave him a share of the first round. No, I would have given that round to Devin Haney, definitely. But I have to say, Matthew Macklin, for once, I agree with his scorecards. He's got some bizarre scorecards, but I agree. What's your scorecard, Fit? Is it 5-1? I think it was the 2nd round to Kambosos, but every other round you give to Devin Haney. So 5-1 would be my scorecard. People like Base having 6-0. I gave him the 2nd round just slightly. It was a real who do you fancy. But 5-1 for me. 5-1 for me. There it is, leading with the left hook from Devin Haney. I was expecting that earlier in this fight, to be honest with you. He will go out in the shield, make no doubt about that. He will keep trying. But I think Haney is he's been very disappointing. Yes, he has. But I think that it's not just that he's been disappointing, it's that Devin Haney has been fantastic. He's been superb in this fight. Is it a case of George Kambosos being disappointing or Devin Haney being fantastic? I think Devin Haney's been brilliant in this fight. Missing with the right hand was Haney, but is still able to keep George Kambosos at bay. Kambosos swinging and miss with that left hook. Just hits the arm of Devin Haney. And Devin Haney able to turn Kambosos back him up again the ropes. Absolutely brilliant in distance control. Able to manage this fight very well. It's not being fought at a frantic pace. Kambosos isn't making Haney work any harder than he needs to. So Haney is able to keep at this pace and keep what he's doing for however long he needs. But brilliant work here from Devin Haney again in this 7th round. Very good. And Kambosos again offering very little. Very little. There's no real education to this pressure. Coming in with that kind of shoulder roll, but it's not really doing anything for it. It's not. See, what I think Kambosos needs to do is, I know he's got the shorter reach, but he needs to maybe jab his way in. Just use that jab to blind Devin Haney, and then try and take a step in and get some work done on that way. Even to the physical strength, like look at there. Devin Haney was able to come in with the clinch and almost lift the Kambosos off his feet. The physical strength is real. The difference between the two in terms of strength is very real, very profound. And again, nothing he can do. Devin Haney just keeps that at bay. Just uses that jab. Take abuse to get to the inside. He needs to use that jab. That jab is there for a reason. It's not just the fighter with the long range can use it. The shorter fighter can make good use of it too. Which he's not doing. He's walking into jabs from Devin Haney. And this is another round that's going to Devin Haney. It's getting to the stage now where he's going to need a knockout. Or several knockdowns, which I don't see happening. Because Devin Haney managing this fight to perfection, in my opinion. So glad these fights happen at lightweight and these belts are changing hands without the rematch clause holding up the division. Is there not a rematch clause in this fight? Is there not? I think there might be. It would seem irrelevant because this fight is one-sided. Needs the clock, Haney and Linares style. He does. He definitely does. He's gonna need to gamble, but that's not his natural mentality. No. Yeah, I think the rematch is in the US. Yeah, it was a. If this fight keeps the way it is, I can't envision Kambosos taking it. But hey, I mean, Kambosos' face is marked up in there. Here we go, round 8. We're getting closer and closer to the championship rounds, lads. And more of the same from Haney, taking the centre ring. Has the slightly wider stance at the 2, which means he is giving up his height ever so slightly, but it gives him a little bit more kind of room. You can actually get the right hand a bit more power. You'll actually will have a little bit more power if you have the wider stance in the right hand. It does help you actually get a little bit more rotation. You can put a little bit more weight on that back foot and let it go. His fans, I wouldn't say the Australian fans are too happy, no, but at the end of the day, Devin Haney is putting on a fantastic show here. He's really boxing out of his skin. He's boxing very well. And a right hand goes in from Devin Haney. I thought Kambosos buzzed a bit there, but he did, just turned. So Devin Haney incorporating the right hand and finding range with the right hand now, able to land it. Just misses, just grazes the chin of Kambosos. If I was in Devin Haney's team, I'd be saying, with the right hand, bring it to Kambosos' body. Hurt him to the body with the right hand. Yes, jab to the head, but bring the right hand to the body. When Kambosos landed a jab of his own on Devin Haney, you just seen that land there. One of the very few straight shots Devin Haney's been hit with all fight. Kambosos with the high guard. And Devin Haney and Kambosos into a clinch again. Bit of a snooze fest. It's more a boxing purist type of fight, mate. And I'm enjoying this fight nonetheless. I'm enjoying seeing the good work that Haney is doing. It's almost like a bull to the matador. Haney is the matador. He's keeping Kambosos at bay. And there's not much Kambosos can do, but he lands a combination there. He only really punches when he really feels 100% comfy when he's inside. He really feels like he can actually do something. The rest of the time, I'm thinking it's just kind of shots here and there, pure power shots. Nothing to really bother Devin Haney. He's getting the volleyball and the polar bear. The only way to win is, at this stage, yes, he needs a knockout, or at least certainly some knockdowns. You're doing a watch along. No, I'm not touching that fight, mate. Not because it's a bad fight. It's a Don King card. I'm not going to touch that fight until the next day because he copyrights the shit out of channels for even doing reviews of his fights. I'm not going near that fight. Certainly not with a watch along. I'd love to. If it wasn't Don King, I would, but I'm not going near that fight with a live watch along. I'm not taking that risk. Good end to this round by Kambosos, to be fair, but still a Devin Haney round. Definitely. Very few body shots, Joe, which I'm disappointed at. Because, I mean, like, what's Devin Haney doing? He's keeping that range. He's using his speed. He's using his footwork. What should George Kambosos be doing to take that away? Going to his body. Vice versa. What should Devin Haney be doing? Throw that right hand to the body. And that's one thing that does irritate me, especially in lower divisions when they don't go to the body. It's there to be hit. It's there to be hit. But yeah, I'm not touching that. I won't be touching that fight next week with a barge pole. Believe me, I'm not going near that Don King card. Just being better be safe than sorry with them, because I remember last year he was doing that. He was copyrighting channels for doing the Trevor Bryan review against Demar. Shutout. Yep. Always been a shutout. I think would have beaten him. Yeah. So this doesn't surprise me. Yeah, as I said in my post-fight, or my preview, that this was all, like, he fought a Teofimo Lopez who was really poor that night. And to be death by 1,000 cuts, yep, that's exactly it. I really do feel that Kambosos, the night he fought Tiafimo, was better than this. Maybe it's the fact that Haney is just superior. I don't know. But Kambosos had something in him that night. Oh, right hand goes in from Devin Haney. Kambosos takes it well. At this stage, late on in the fight, at some stage, he's just got to go for broke, in my opinion. He really just has to go for broke at this stage in this fight. Yeah, shut down. Beautiful movement. Yeah, Haney's boxing out of his skin in this fight. He's going to be a hard fighter to beat, is Devin Haney. He really will. He's making the... Oh! Left hook goes in from Kambosos. Referee rules it no knockdown. I don't know about that. That looked... Okay, well, referee ruled that no knockdown, but a left hook went in from Kambosos. I know Haney was kind of fumbled, but we got to see that again on the replay. I definitely got to see that on the replay. But is that a breakthrough for George Kambosos? Even if it's not officially a knockdown, well, Jesus, I mean, he nearly went into outer space with that shot there, how far he missed. But is it a breakthrough? Mentally, for Kambosos above anything, still getting hit with jabs too much. Still way too many jabs going in there. Haney tries to lead with the uppercut to no avail. Throwing that jab a bit more reckless. Right hand goes in from Kambosos there. It's a bit more reckless from Devin Haney in this round. Is he starting to slow down? Is he starting to feel it's not really been fought at a frantic pace, but is the pressure of Kambosos telling? It's a much better round this for George Kambosos. Misses with a right hand. Takes a left jab in return. Not buying on the feints from Haney there. Brilliant work here from both guys in this round. Much better round for Kambosos, but also Haney is doing some excellent work here. .30 seconds to go here in the 9th round. Intrigued. It's an intriguing round, this. It's a round where I think George Kambosos has done some good work, but I still think Haney's winning. But definitely he's able to get a bit closer. Definitely. And into a clinch again, and Haney using his physical strength to push George Kambosos back as the round comes to an end. Give me 2 secs, peeps. I just need to change the headset. There we go. I just knew my phone was near the end of its juice. So let's have a look. Did that? No left hook. Wait, no left hook didn't land. That wasn't a knockdown. No, I just from where I seen it, it looked like it landed on the chin. No left hook landed. Might see some sparks. Yeah, Haney is making it look easy. Tremendous performance from Devin Haney. Very impressed with Haney, so I am. Very impressed with him. He's doing very well in this fight. Again, people, 93 in the building. If you could smash the like button while you're at it. If you haven't already, if you like the commentary, hit subscribe. Just plug that in there before the end of this. Round 10, into the championship rounds now. It's now or never really for George Kambosos in this fight. He needs to pull something out of the bag. He really needs to pull it out of the bag. Because a lot of people have it 9-zip to Devin Haney. And I have to agree with that. Have to. Devin Haney's been bossing this fight. Kambosos has done. And again, you look at one of these fights and you just think, what are the judges seeing it? Because we've seen some bizarre scorecards the last few weeks, months. But Devin Haney, I mean, look at that. Little jab, little step out to the side. Absolutely brilliant. Tremendous athleticism from Devin Haney, but tremendous talent, speed, ability, good time and good judge of distance, excellent footwork. Sees these shots coming. Try as hard as Kambosos is, he's not getting anywhere. and we're nearing desperation. Right hand goes in, no effect. Barely lands on Devin Haney. Levels to this game is correct. And again, this is excellent work from Devin Haney. He is really putting Kambosos in his place here. Just moving around the ring, pivots around the ring, and look at this, holding the arm of Devin Haney. That's how bad it is. It was almost like they were playing swing. Holding the arm of Devin Haney, and even then it shows how much reach he has over him. He is literally just putting George Kambosos on this jab. There's not a lot he can do. Almost showboating the George Kambosos now, but just keeping the jab as is. Feet nice width apart, and Devin Haney is just going through the motions. And right hand goes in actually on the inside from Devin Haney that just landed on the top of George Kambosos' head. Not real much power in it, but I wonder if Devin Haney now is going to start to sit on some of these shots and actually push forward a stoppage. And there's almost a lack. It's labouring the work of Kambosos now. When he's coming in with the shots, he's almost pulling the shots out, pushing them out. He's not letting them flow, and there's very little behind. They're almost arm punches. So Devin Haney, even if he's not, he wouldn't even be worried about getting hit with some of these shots. There's very little probably steam in these shots. Another round for Haney. People, this has been a clean sweep. I mean, we're looking at a 120, 108 or a 119, 109 scorecard. That's what we're looking at. George been on the old how you doing all night. I doubt that, but he's been on the end of a jab all night. Or all afternoon. It's afternoon over there. 10 zip Haney. Have to agree with that. Can only give Kambosos one round. Yep. I gave him the second round. That's it. Just gave him the second round. That's the only round I've given to him so far. Round 11. Let's go, round 11. And again, same old from Kambosos, just looking to try and get in and land whatever shots he can. But to no avail. Devin Haney has a good, as I said, judge distance. He sees what's coming. And the steam from a lot of Kambosos' shots is gone. And you can see it, the way, even to his posture, it's just not there. It's just gone. It's almost like the jabs have just taken it out of Kambosos. He's just trying to swing and hope anything lands and hope that anything can come by. Where's this guy? But there's very little that I think Kambosos has now at this point. He needed to do adjustments earlier on in this fight. He needed to go to Haney's body earlier. He needed to try and jab his way in earlier. At this stage now, he's tired. He's been taking jabs all night. His face is banged up. And I think Devin Haney, all he needs to do is just coast these last two rounds. He's done everything he needs to do. And even then, you can tell he's probably not putting as much effort into it as he was in the earlier rounds. And he's still superior in his boxing to George Kambosos. So you can see that. Can you see a robbery? No. You can't. I know I've seen some bizarre ones, but you can't. I can't see. No. I mean, you can't even get. You see, here's the thing. None of these rounds are really close. Some of the early rounds, yeah, they were close enough. But these latest rounds, they've all been Devin Haney. All been Devin Haney by a country mile. Can't give them to anyone else. You just can't. It's been a clean sweep for Devin Haney in this fight. We have a minute to go here in the 11th round. I think there's blood even starting to flow from Kambosos now. He's certainly marked up quite badly in the face. Oh,
Right hand going from Devin Haney. I thought George Kambosos was buzzed a bit there, but no, just the position and the speed. The speed of Devin Haney is still there. The speed hasn't diminished at all throughout this fight. He's still as fast now as he was earlier on. He's carried the speed very well in this fight. Straight right hand. He's toying with Kambosos now at this stage. Just moving around the ring, keeping his distance, and he really is playing with Kambosos in here. He really is. He's just toying with him. And Kambosos, very little to offer as the 11th round comes to an end. Or it should come to an end. And we wait for the bell. There we go. So one more round. You have to be blind to see Haney if you don't see Haney winning this. Yep. The Kambosos team, very quiet there at ringside by the look of things. Give it to Kambosos' biggest robbery in boxing. Oh, it'll be bigger than the Captrell fight. I mean, like, there was rounds there where Captrell was winning, but they were there was very low volume. These rounds, it's like you have to give it to Kambosos. You can't give it any other way. You'd be absolutely stone mad to give it any other way than to Kambosos or than to Haney. Do you know something? I reckon if Tiafimo Senior was in Kambosos' corner, he'd be telling Kambosos, "You're fine. Just do what you were doing every other round. You've won every round." Last round. All right, people. Last round. Kambosos, it's now or never. You want to keep your title, you got to go Carl Frost, Jermaine Taylor on this guy. And again, doesn't look like it's going to be. Devin Haney just happy to keep it at range. And he will move a lot in this final round. He doesn't need to actually pick this round up. He will just move, do as little as he can, keep Kambosos at the end of a jab, and just coast this. Reset all night. Yeah, it's been beautiful boxing the whole way through from Devin Haney. Absolutely fantastic. Whoa. George Kambosos nearly headbutting the ropes. And try as hard as he does, Devin Haney, I think, is just, he's got this. He knows the angles that Kambosos is coming at. He knows the shots that are going to be coming. And he's really done a good job in here. Done a fantastic job. He's nullified Kambosos from the first round. It's literally been nothing Kambosos has been able to do in this fight. He's not had his own way at all. And I can't see them being, how could they can't be generous to him. He's done nothing in this fight. You can only give this fight one way. It's got to be to Devin Haney. You can't give it to anyone else. You might have one judge with a bizarre scorecard. He won't. No. People don't say that. He won't. 12th and final round, a minute and 20 to go. George Kambosos is fighting valiantly, swinging and a miss. Devin Haney knows he's in the ascendancy, knows he's in the driving seat, and using his jab to great effect again as he ties George Kambosos up. He knows he's boxed very well. The shape is still there, the footwork is still there, the timing is still there, 12 rounds in. And Kambosos, fleet of foot now at this stage, his balance, his shape is kind of off a bit. He's forcing a lot of this work. And Devin Haney is just keeping it as is. Brilliant stuff from Devin Haney. The jab is on par. He's been getting full extension on it. He's been screwing his shots as well with the fist, turning it right on cue. It's been an absolute masterclass from Devin Haney. Brilliant work. Very, very impressed. Very impressive stuff from Devin Haney. With the last 30 seconds to go, this is definitely the last 30 seconds of Kambosos' reign. There is a rematch, unfortunately, but I can't see them taking a fight as one-sided as this. I can't see it. Last 10 seconds. And it's now or never for Kambosos, and it looks like it's going to be never. Haney clinches in the center of the ring. He knows he's done it. The bell is going to go any second. There it is. And Devin Haney will get the decision unless something absolutely bizarre happens, which I don't think it will, and I hope and pray it doesn't. Hoisted aloft is Devin Haney, and he's done this. The question is, by how much has he done it? I would imagine clean sweep. Kambosos is acting like he's won the fight. I never understand that, especially when it's such a wide fight. It's like you know who's won this. We know who's won this. We all know who's won it. 120 to 109 is Matthew Macklin's scorecard. Didn't give him a round, and you can't argue with that. Second round was a bit competitive, but other than that, you cannot give Kambosos a round. Faultless from Devin Haney. Now let's just see what the judges say. I bet anything there'll be a card that's, we'll say like a 116, 112 card. I bet we'll get one of them, but it's going to be unanimous. Mark my word. But we'll get like a 116, 112 card. That's what we'll get. Me and Base have the exact same score, 11-1. Yep, I agree with that. But I reckon there'll be like a 116, 112 card in there. Wait to see. And when they announce the decision, I'm going to mute it. I'll just mute it real quick so we can get so I can hear the scorecards. But we know who's got this. We know who's got this. Last time, before we get this, 105 people in the building. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope you enjoyed the chat. If you could, smash the like button, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. If you could, try and get this stream up to 80 likes if you could. We're at 74 now. Has to be a clean sweep. Yeah, Kambosos did. It wasn't just that Kambosos did little. It was the fact that Devin Haney boxed so well. It meant that Kambosos couldn't do much. Very little that George Kambosos was able to do in there. Very little. So, when are we going to get the decisions from the judges? I always worry when it takes a little bit longer. Certainly in a fight like this, it should be a pretty straightforward tally up. 120, 108, 120, 108, 119, 109. Couldn't figure him out. No. No, Haney boxed very well. And just on a personal note, just for karma, you can't help but just laugh at Lou DiBella, because I don't like Lou DiBella. Don't like him at all. Appreciate the 99 pence, mate. I'll take that. I'll take the 99 pence. Every little bit helps, mate. Every little bit helps. Now, that's the scary thing. Haney had gears. He definitely had gears to go through there. Absolutely pointless. Yeah, I'm broke. It's cool, man. I don't mind. And Haney with Bob Arum, Eddie Earn is probably looking at that thinking, traitor, why are you next to him? Hey, Devin, I got a contract for you. Why don't you sign there? This Hearn guy, he don't know nothing about boxing. I've had Ali, Frazier, Foreman. Sign with me. They really are taking a while to get this decision now. I always worry. It's always a worry. Okay, the referee has the vote. Okay. Let's see. I think they're just waiting for Haney to come over. I sense a robbery. I don't have that sense. But I thought they were going to call both fighters, but they're still waiting to get this decision tallied up. That's a worry, people. That's a worry. Okay, here we go. There we go. No robberies. No robbery happening here. Only one winner. Only one winner. Only one winner. That was a given. That was a given. But people, I will leave it there. Appreciate all the chats we've had tonight. It's been fun. It's been a fun 2 hours. If you've enjoyed it, obviously, show your boys a bit of support. Hit the like button. I'm going to get the post-fight review done now. And obviously, if you could, hit subscribe on the way out if you're not already. And people, I will leave you with that. Devin Haney, undisputed champion. I felt that was a good performance, great performance from Haney. And people, I'll leave you now for the evening. I'll get a quick post-fight out. It looks like a kerfuffle there in the ringside. What's going on there? It almost looks like a scraps breaking out. What's going on there? That was weird. It just looked like there was a row there. But people, I'll get the post-fight out for you now. Let's chat to you soon. Peace.